Hey everyone, GuardianE here with another live reaction and first impression video for Fire Emblem Heroes. Tonight we're going to be getting the reveal trailer for the next legendary hero into the game. And we don't really know much about it other than it's going to be colorless. That at least has been confirmed. But other than that, it's kind of up in the air. I've seen some theories going around and floating around with respect to potentially it being Micaiah. I could also see it being a beast unit since they have been kind of heavy on the beast units recently. But let's just see. Let's just see what they have in store for us and watch the trailer for the first time together. Alright, so the way that I've been recording now, I already have the name of the hero spoiled for me, unfortunately, but it's awesome. I already see that it's Alm, which has been one of the most highly requested legendary heroes in the game, so that is incredibly exciting for sure. And I can't wait to see what they did with him. I think a lot of people were expecting him to be an archer. Saint King.
I'll carry on my father's will.
Here he is. Alm, he is an infantry archer. Wow, he looks... That armor is really cool. Luna Arc, Lunar Flash. Okay, so he comes with his own special, which is always a good sign. I like the animation, too. Okay, so he does have a pair-up mechanic.
For the future!
Which makes sense. They're trying to push that. Alright, so we are finally getting Alm. With him is going to be Fjorm, Legendary Ike, Legendary Hector, Legendary Marth, Winter Erica, Winter Ephraim, Faye, Winter Faye, Eliane, Nyla, ooh, okay, Roy, Legendary Roy here, with Lolina in the support, Sue. Okay, alright. Interesting selection. Lots of legendary heroes on this banner. I mean, to be expected, I suppose. So it's going to be starting on the 27th, just in a couple of days, and it's going to be running up until May 7th. So we've got, I guess, a little bit, like a week or so, a little bit more than a week, to get Alm and these other units. Little surprised at the fact that we don't have Adrift Camilla in this banner, just because she was missing from the last banner and all of the Adrift units that they kind of tossed in the last banner. So it's kind of odd that we're not getting her here, but... definitely a strong selection of allies, and we're going to be taking a look at them independently and kind of evaluating whether or not you guys should be pulling, whether or not I should be pulling on this banner with respect to the units that are available based on color, and take a closer look at Alm's skills. I saw he looks like he's decked out. First of all, his art is really cool. I'm not 100% sure what it's based on, and the skill sets that he has, I saw a lot of new skills, and he definitely has his own special, which again is always a promising thing. Units with their own specials tend to have really, really strong specials. So let's take another look. Let's back it up and rewatch the trailer together. Let's go ahead and rewatch the trailer together and take another look at that art. He is an infantry unit. Alright, so let's see Alm here. Yeah, he looks really cool.
I'll carry on my father's will and prove that I can be a great king.
Alright, so let's take a pause and take a look at what he's got available to him. So, first up, his weapon, Luna Arc. So it's a 14 might ranged bow, naturally. Effective against flying foes, as all bows are. Grants speed +3. If unit initiates combat, deals damage equal to 25% of foe's defense. What? Ignores reductions to defense from special skills like Lunar Flash. Alright, so we'll get into what Lunar Flash does, but... So if Alm initiates combat, it deals damage equal to 25% of foe's defense. Does that mean it deals bonus damage equal to 25% of the foe's defense? I mean, it would have to, right? So... That's so... Really? That's like almost a built-in moonbow. Unless I'm not reading that right. So, grant speed +3. If unit initiates combat, deals damage equal to 25% of foe's defense. I mean, it's right. So I'm saying it's moonbow, but moonbow is 30% versus 25%. Wait, that's kind of crazy. It's a 14 light bow, And yeah, grant speed +3 if unit. I'm sorry, I'm reading this over and over because I'm trying to make sure I'm not making a mistake here. But yeah, I mean, it looks like just a slightly neutered Moonbow is built into his weapon, and only on player phase. I mean, that's important to note, of course. It's not multi-phase. It's only on player phase when he is initiating against an opponent. But dealing an additional 25% of the foe's defense is that's a pretty big deal. And of course, if he's going to be doubling, it sounds like he's going to be speed oriented if his weapon is giving him speed +3. If he is going to be doubling, that means that he's going to be basically doing a mini Moonbow every single time he attacks. That's pretty darn good. That is pretty darn good. Okay, so let's take a look at Lunar Flash, because it is referenced in the weapon description as well. So Lunar Flash for the special, it's a 2 cooldown special. Treats foes' defense res as if reduced by 20% during combat. Boosts damage by 20% of unit speed. Really? Wow. Okay, so we were just talking about mini Moonbow, right? That Luna Arc has a built-in mini Moonbow in it. So Lunar Flash is actually a little bit of a mix of Moonbow and Regnal Astra from Ira, or even the damage effect of Fire Emblem from Marth, basically a damage that scales with his speed. So that's a really, really powerful special, because so the reason why it's so powerful is that it's kind of a dual effectiveness in that it scales off of both his speed and his enemy's defenses. So sort of some of the advantages of Luna and Moonbow being that on weaker characters where they don't have astronomical stats in either defense or res, where it's a natural selection of Bonfire or Glacies or Iceberg, or they don't have huge attack or a lot of attack boosting allies, which would make sense to go with something like Draconic Aura or Dragon Fang. This is a blend of the two. It's kind of the best of both worlds, because regardless of the situation where Alm is going to be going up against a unit that has really, really high defense or really, really low defense, Lunar Flash is going to kind of cover him for a lot of different scenarios. And this is a really good special, and it pairs very well with Luna Arc's additional damage effect, in which I'm assuming it's multiplicative and not additive, so it's not going to be like a raw 45% damage based upon the opponent's defense, its stat. It's going to be a multiplicative effect, so it's probably going to round out to around 35 to 40%, I guess. And then, of course, you get the bonus damage based upon Alm's speed stat. So these two things paired together sound like an absolutely ridiculous, deadly combination. And of course, since Lunar Flash is at least somewhat based or scaled on speed, we have Darting Blow 4, so we have the tier 4 skill for Darting Blow. If unit initiates combat, grants speed +9 during combat. Makes sense. Makes a lot of sense. I've always found Darting Blow a little underrated for mid-lane speed units. Darting Blow had heavy usage in the early game, first year of Fire Emblem Heroes, and then it waned off sort of in the middle of the first year for other skills like Fury. And then it started to see a little bit of a comeback recently just because it's been implemented into a seal. So a lot of people have been pairing Darting Blow Seal with other A-slot skills that boost stats. Darting Blow 4, I don't see a lot of people kind of gravitating back towards Darting Blow 4. It might work for Alm because, of course, he has a special that scales with speed, so it makes a lot of sense. And again, Lunar Flash, just so we're clear, has a 2-turn cooldown. So, yeah, he's going to be proccing that pretty often. Not to mention the fact that since he's an infantry unit, and he's an infantry unit where he presumably has some pretty high speed, since all of these things are based on speed. If he has pretty high native speed, he's a natural fit for Flashing Blade as well, as a seal. Anyway, so Darting Blow 4, Null Follow-Up 3, disables foes' skills that guarantee foes' follow-up attack, and foes' skills that prevent units' follow-up attack. So, Null Follow-Up is an awesome skill. I'd glad to see more of it in the game, and I'd love to have more of it myself, but Null Follow-Up creates some very interesting combinations of different weapons and skills that you can pair with Null Follow-Up to create some unique strategies and scenarios. And just as a regular skill in how it operates, it's a natural fit for Alm. And the reason being that Alm, obviously, as a unit, is going to be heavily focused on speed. If he is heavily focused on speed, then that means he's naturally going to be getting a lot of natural follow-ups, a lot of natural doubles. And if that's the case, then you want to be able to ensure those doubles. You want to be able to neutralize those wary fighters and other weapon effects that prevent follow-up attacks. So this is a great fit for him. Obviously, another natural B-slot skill would be Desperation. Of course, that's a natural fit. But yeah, this null follow-up being a premium skill and one of the more recent skills, and definitely allows him to counter a lot of current units that prevent follow-up attacks. And then a C-slot skill, Odd Attack Wave 3. I guess they didn't want to go overkill with the speed. They didn't give him like Odd Speed Wave instead to, again, stack on that speed so that he gets all of the effects of bonus damage to Lunar Flash. But I could definitely see Alm being an absolute wrecking force on the battlefield. I mean, his kit looks amazing, and when Lunar Flash procs, you'll know it. Obviously, we're going to have to wait until we see more about Alm's stats and his stat spread, but Lunar Flash really does look like it's one of the best specials in the game. It covers all kinds of different angles. It has a low cooldown, so it's going to proc often, and it scales off of what's clearly going to be his prominent stat. So yeah, so watch out. It seems like Alm is definitely on a warpath here because this kit is ridiculous. So let's keep going. Take a look at his attack animation again. That wind blowing his cape. The tension on the bow, and of course he has that pair up.
Let's go. For the future.
So I'm not going to venture or try to calculate what his actual damage is because it scales off two different things. And anyway, and I don't know what the enemy stats are. But taking another look here, so yeah, so all the Christmas units are in. Pretty much all of the Christmas units are in, as well as Leanne, Nyla, Sue, and Sue being a unit that really just came out. So let's take another look and break down the colors themselves. So Alm being a colorless legendary hero, not the most common color that we have for legendary heroes, so much appreciated that he fills in that gap. Comes with the pair-up mechanic, so that's going to be fun. I don't know why they limited the pair-up mechanic only to a couple of legendary heroes, but it is what it is. He's going to be an Earth hero. And again, he looks amazing. Alongside him in the colorless pool is going to be Christmas Erica and Leanne. So Christmas Erica is the only armor healer in the game, and that alone gives her a lot of utility. Armors in general, being able to stack certain skills, being able to utilize the fighter skills themselves. And then, of course, her being a healer, she's able to basically attack unhindered, except with the exception, of course, of units that have the nullification of the sweep effect. I guess one downside to that, of course, is that if she's going to be running both Wrathful and Dazzling, which is a very common combination for healers, she's not going to be able to use the fighter skills. Of course, being a healer, she doesn't really have access to a lot of the damaging specials in the game, so she may not really need the fighter skills. And then Leanne is a beast dancer, comes with pretty great skills. Colorless is looking really strong here, I would say. Just because Alm is the marquee character for this banner, they didn't pair him with I guess, subpar units. The two units that they selected to go with him are very strong. Let's move right along. So for blue, we've got Christmas Ephraim, we have Fjorm, and we have Nyla. So Fjorm is, gosh, she might actually be the oldest unit on this banner. Yeah, I think she might be. She's still a legendary hero. She still has her uses. For people that have been pulling on these legendary heroes since the beginning, you may have a merged Fjorm at this point, and it might be a chance to get another merge. You know, she is what she is. She's a solid unit. Even to today, for PvE content, she definitely acts as a multi-purpose mixed tank in a lot of scenarios, and she definitely has her uses, but she's probably the most lackluster unit on this banner. So we got Fjorm here, we've got Christmas Ephraim, who is a beast, and Nyla, who's absolutely amazing. So Nyla alone probably pushes blue up. Nyla and Ephraim, you know, Fjorm definitely drags blue down just a little bit, but Nyla, especially in blue, really elevates that color because having access to distant counter, as well as her unique B-slot skill, and her just being a very powerful unit, I could see people going for blue here because a chance of getting Nyla is definitely a good thing. Next up we have green. So green, we've got Christmas Fae, Sue, and Legendary Hector. So a pretty good showing. Fae is a monster. Sue is okay. Legendary Hector is very, very good. I might place green higher than blue only because you don't really have the Fjorm factor. Even though Sue is probably the most middling unit of the greens, she comes with some fantastic fodder, even if you don't want to build her and use her. So all of these units have extreme value. And then finally we have red. Red has Legendary Ike, Legendary Marth, and Legendary Roy. That's right, 3 legendary heroes on a color. If you're missing red legendary heroes, this is the banner for you to pull on. Seriously, red is stacked. Now, Legendary Ike isn't the freshest and most exciting unit in this batch, but time and time again, he's proven that he is extremely, extremely useful in challenges and events. So he's definitely, everybody has him, of course, but getting merges for him is never really a bad thing. Legendary Marth is amazing, an absolute dragon destroyer, comes with his own special, Fire Emblem, which is amazing as well. If you don't have him, you probably want him. Yeah, Legendary Marth is definitely somebody to go for. And Legendary Roy brings a lot to the table as well. He has his own unique A-slot skill, at least for now. Obviously, it's inheritable, I think, but he's very interesting. And of course, he has the pair-up mechanic built into him in addition to Alm. So red is honestly a contender here. In addition to the marquee color of colorless, I would say that red is definitely a color that you'd want to pull on if you don't have any of these units because, well, everybody has Ike. So even though an older legendary hero like Fjorm, I think that Legendary Ike brings more to the table, especially since he comes with a breath skill, and breath skills are definitely still coveted today as far as inheritable skills. So if you don't need a merge for your Legendary Ike, because everybody has him, you can at least use him as fodder, as skill fodder, and that would be valuable. So red is honestly pretty stacked. Me personally, if I had to rate these, I would say that red and colorless are kind of at the top here. And then directly below that is going to be green and blue, who are kind of together. If I had to pick one, I would say that blue might be the lowest, but not by much, just because, again, Fjorm kind of, I think, drags that color down just a bit. You don't want to be hunting for Nyla and getting a bunch of Fjorms. I'm just going to put it that way. So let me know in the comments below who you're pulling for, what colors you're pulling for, who you're excited for. If you're excited about Alm finally having a legendary hero version in the game, much anticipated. We've had to wait for a while, but honestly, I think he was worth the wait. And quite frankly, the fact that he came in so late means that he probably got way more powerful skills than he would have if he was introduced a year earlier. So if I had to guess, I think Alm fans are going to be pretty happy, but let me know. As for me personally, I think I'll probably do a couple of pulls for Alm, but I'm not going to go crazy on this. I'm still in orb saving mode, so I might go a bit for Alm. I actually don't have any of the colorless heroes on this banner, so that would be great to get any of them. So we'll see. We'll see how I'm feeling in a couple of days, and we'll go from there. So hopefully you enjoyed watching the trailer for the first time with us. If you did, please feel free to leave us a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel for more Fire Emblem Heroes content. We thank you so much for watching and taking some time out of your day to spend with us. And until next time, let's protect those skies.